What's up? And Mike, everybody's bad typer, so don't worry about it. How's everybody doing? Hello, Pamela. Nice to see you. Nice to come in. Thank you. Mike J, behold. Did you tell her all that crap too? And I saw Black Dragon in earlier. If he's still around, thank you for saying hi. I hope everybody's having a good night. Good Memorial weekend, as one may say. And I'll start the replay about 12:30, depending on who shows. And a little sooner, a little later, we'll see what happens. We're doing vampires again tonight, so one of her favorites. So, and then we'll go from there after the video, after the replay, I should say. So, is everybody having a pretty good weekend? No, I forgot. Yeah, you got to leave that out. Yeah, talking about Lisa, I guess you could say, and all that crap. There you go. Yeah, I made it a lazy day. Just kind of piddled around the house. I'm in a lazy mood, so I don't know how long I'll last. Maybe I'll actually sleep tonight. That's. I hope everybody's good, though. I say it 1,000 times. I got what 3 in here, so well, I'm counting 2. So yeah, I think we got a good video tonight. It's 35 minutes long. But that's all right. That's what it's about. Replaying the old ones. But yeah, anybody got anything interesting going on? I know Mike's waiting for a book and cooked on the grill today. We had hamburger helper. I kept it simple. That's how lazy we were today. I even made it out of the box, which I don't usually do. That's how lazy I was today. Yeah, we'll probably do something. Well, tomorrow we're going to go away. And then Monday we'll probably cook out and just hang out. I'll probably put around in the yard. There he is. There's Ralph. Hey, man. How you doing? I'm here without being tired. Yeah, I made a lazy day, Ralph. I needed it bad. I needed it really bad. And I was lazy. But yeah, I'd do that for you if it wasn't for him or me. But thank you, man. I'm glad you're here. See how long you last. I don't know how long I'm going to last. I've been so lazy. Like I said, I actually might be able to get some sleep tonight. It's been a long week. Actually, a long couple of weeks. I love hamburger helper. I usually make it homemade, but tonight I always keep a couple of boxes just in case. It's like, I don't feel like cooking. So that's what we did. I mean, Giles is the only one who got productive today, and that's my son. He got up golfing. So, yeah, it's the extent of my day. Played around, got on and off games, fiddled around for a bit. I watched a movie for a while for a change. Usually I do that at night. Well, hello there, Mr. Roger Blair. How are you doing today? Or this evening, or tomorrow, since it's officially Sunday. So, but yeah, like I said, we're taking off a little bit in the morning. I don't think we'll be gone very long. I don't think it's gonna be kind of day for him. So, but he needs to see his sister. So, and then we'll probably be home. Probably home in the afternoon. He won't stay long. I know he won't. So. He doesn't like sitting in a car anymore like that. He wants to get out, and then an hour later he wants to come home. Oh, yeah, I knew. Hey, man, any other time, if he was in better shape, I'd do it in a second and get him out of the house for a while. It's like I was going to take him to Jersey one time this summer, but he's like, I don't know if I make the trip, dude. But it's okay. I mean, I have a son here, but he works all the time. That leaves him home by himself. I have another brother here, but he's got a wife that's been sick, so it's like Hopefully, give him the okay. He's been doing a little better, but man, he's had some rough days. I know, bud, and I appreciate it. And I'm glad you were trusting enough to ask me. Believe me, that's an honor in itself, too. So thank you for thinking of me. Well, if you're down in Kentucky with everybody else, you may see me sometime. I got a friend that lives on the border of Cincinnati, Kentucky. Chris lives down in Cincy, too. So I got two friends there. My brother lives in Tennessee. He moved from Minnesota to Tennessee. Now he's just getting wet. And then you got Lotus. It's nice to have an extra day off. I'll tell you what, dude. I got this morning. I looked at Dad and I go, dude, I got a lot to do, but I ain't doing crap. I mean, I've been go, 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 go. And I'm not sleeping on top of that. So it was like, if you don't sleep, you got to stay busy. Your brain goes. And finally today, I was like, I got to take care of myself for a minute. So I piddled around. But I got to get busy tomorrow. I want to go see his sister. And I'm betting we'll go home before noon, 1 o'clock. If we get up and go in the morning. She's not doing too hot herself. But they need to see each other. The giant plushies. We're in New Jersey. Yeah, I wish. I don't think I could go right now anyway. She's got a lot going on. So I'd love to go see Mom too. I miss having coffee and a smoke with Mom in the morning. It was kind of nice. She's a character. Bless her heart. Yeah. Well, that's another day and another time frame. I'm not going to go on with that. I'm up almost over an hour. It's terrible. Oh, dude. Tuesday, I was out in the sun way too long Sunday and Monday. It got hot here, and I really wasn't prepared for it. I'm surprised I'm not burnt, to be honest. And I'll tell you what, I paid for it. I worked my butt off too. I'm working my butt off. And I paid for it. My Tuesday night into Wednesday. I didn't sleep Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night. I mean, I think Thursday night I maybe got 2 hours of sleep. And that was from 5 to 8 o'clock in the morning. And then this morning, I think it was like 4 o'clock when I finally fell asleep. And I was up at 5:30, 6 o'clock. So I have 4 hours of sleep ain't bad. I don't count now. But I think I'll sleep tonight. Like I said, it did me some good just to kind of stay off the feet for a while. I think I ran and got him cigars, and that was the only thing I did today. Yeah. But oh yeah, let's do this while we're hanging out before I start the video. Where is it? Let's do this. Dun, dun, dun. This is Gemma's noon video. Sec. Let me do this. Hold on. Oh, poopy. 1 second. Okay, there we go. Back. Okay, let me get rid of the thing. Here. Sorry about that. And Pamela, thank you for coming in. Yeah, I needed to take care of myself. I really did. I try to as much as often. I take real good care of myself. But it's been a while since I've been able to have a day where I didn't do nothing. So, and that was today. And I didn't want to deal. I didn't want to hassle with. So I made it my day. She may come in. You never know with Aunt Edna. If she's not, I hope she's resting. She needs it. So bless her heart. But if we say her name 3 times, she might come in. There's the other guy. Somebody stole his Cheetos. It wasn't me. I'm not in a Cheetos mood today. Hold on. That's not what I wanted. No, it's still not what I wanted. Stop. I'm trying to screen share. There we go. Why didn't it do what I wanted to do? Oh, that's not the one. There we go. Let me make it the other way. Okay, that's our video for Monday at noon. And then Tuesday talk, I think will be me and Ryan. I don't know if I want to. Now he's accusing me of stealing his Cheetos. Nah, actually, wait, go home now. I guess I do have Cheetos. I have cheese puffs. I stole those. I can't lie now. You caught me red-handed. That makes sense. And no, I had that Tourette's movement disorder, man. I don't sleep. I non-motion, man. I'm in motion literally almost 24 hours a day. Yeah, keep saying her name, she'll show up. Yeah, at least they're not cheesy. No, they're not. But yeah, that's our video Monday at noon. Man, I love the listener counter list. She's gonna do that, and then she was editing last time I talked to her. She was trying to edit. She was falling asleep. The 11 o'clock. Cut your cheese handed. Yeah, you did. You honestly did. How funny. And I felt stupid. I was going to say, I don't have no Cheetos, but yeah, no Cheetos. They're just puffs. I was in a puffy mood. No, we mess with each other, dude. So it goes both ways. Are you bringing the Lizard Man Encyclopedia Tuesday? Tonight we're going to talk about vampires. I'm going to let her talk about vampires for 35 minutes. Well, at least I don't hang out with Wendigos and Skinwalkers in dark corners eating Cheetos. That's why I steal them. There you go. There you go. This is one of my favorites. Cool breeze. I might do a little, see what I can find tomorrow myself. So I'll make it interesting. We'll see what we can do. You're the man. You're just like Gemma. I just let you do all the talking. I just sit back and let you say what's in my head. So I'm just gonna let you do all the talking. Then I'll just go, maybe pop a question once in a while. That there's some fabulous parties. I did a chance to ride my bike today. Oh, that's cool. I don't ride bike. If you're talking about a motorcycle, that's fine. I don't ride a bike anymore. I don't ride a motorcycle anymore. Got hit twice, so I was done. Nope. I just wasn't meant to ride one. Some people aren't. I couldn't ride one now if I wanted to, though. There's no way. Unless I get like a 3-wheeler. One of those ones with the 2 wheels in front. This and cool. Dry bikes, whatever there are. Yeah, my voice is real soft tonight, folks, so bear with me. And we've got 8. No, what time is got here? What time do we got? 12:20. So I'll start it here in a minute. Get it started. It's 35 minutes long. You guys can chat with each other while I chill out for a minute. I'm no road king. Oh man, I'm telling you what. And then I just don't know if I could ride a bike now. And then some of the guys I do see ride, these guys ride through anything, and it's like, dude, you're gonna get yourself killed. I'm still trying to figure out how. Like, everyone got Arizona weather except for Arizona. What the heck? Oh, Mother Nature's all screwed up right now. And you notice it only got weirder after the eclipse. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. Keep your eyes on the heavens, folks. And keep your eyes on the ground, too, because crap's going to start hitting the fan. You better hold on to your butts, like we said. Not man, it would now today it got up to 82. It was real muggy, but it never rained. We saw thunderstorms go to the north of us, but it never rained. Saw Gemma for the first time last week on Bigfoot, Michigan. Rob, taxi. I was blown away. I had to check her out. Yeah, Gemma. This is going to be an interesting week for Gemma. Now she has a video coming out Monday. One at 11 and one at noon, and just come and check them out. They have their premiere, so we'll be here. I'm not sure. I'm hoping to be here for both of them, but I can't guarantee because Monday, holiday. I don't know how hard it'll get because a lot of people get busy. But anyways, she has those two videos. She usually does Tuesday Talk with us, but this week, because her son had a 4-day weekend, she didn't get as much work done as she wanted, so she's going to take Tuesday off. So it's just going to be me and Ryan Tuesday. So come and visit us. And then I'm Wednesday night. And then she'll be back on Friday, but I don't know. She was talking about going to a carnival that comes through town. They do it every year. So I don't know if we either have it on Friday or Saturday, if we're having it all. So it may be a week before you actually see her in person again. Oh, she's doing Wayne's and Michelle's show, Michigan sightings and Michigan sighting, UFO sightings and paranormal. Wayne and Michelle's show tomorrow night, I believe at 8. So you can see her tomorrow night on that show. In fact, I could probably post that link. I forgot all about that. 1 second. Let me stop sharing there for a minute. Let me find that. I'll post the link. Wayne and Michelle, yeah, they're great people. I like Wayne and Michelle. They're good people. Hi, Rainwater. How are you doing? 1 second. I hope you're having a good night, a good holiday weekend. I know you really don't say anything. You just come and say hi, but hello. 1 second here. I got to find Wayne and Michelle so I can drop the link. Wrong one, ding dong. I believe it's at 8. But I'll put it up here. Also put the thing up. Drop the link. Where are you guys? I'm trying to find my. There we go. And I believe she is tomorrow night. Yep. Let me go back real quick and make sure I get the time right. Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. 1 second. I'll post it here. I'm going to post the link too. That. Share it too. Dun, 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 dun. I'm so slow at this. You have to forgive me. My hands don't stay steady, so I'm trying to move something that doesn't want to. Okay. So that looks. There we go. And here's the links, folks, to the channel. where we'll go. My hand's not working again. There we go. And there's their link for the stream for their channel. Please go check her out tomorrow night, Pamela. She'll be there. It'll be a good show. She does, you see all what she was like on BMR, so, and she loves Wayne and Michelle too, so it'll be a good show. You'll be on your deck watching. There you go. Yeah, but she'll be on there tomorrow night. Go give her a rounding surprise. Everybody show up and give her a hard time. Ask her lots of questions. Yeah, Wayne and Michelle, they're just great people. Bob's a good guy. I have to be a caregiver this week, but I will be back. I'm highly intrigued. Yeah, please. I think I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure about Oracle's Friday or Saturday. She wasn't sure, but I know they go every year, so, and she could use the break, so, and the family time, so it will be good for her. Yeah, she's been on Wayne and Michelle's show, what, 3 times now? This will either be the 3rd or 4th time. It was nice because she was, when they changed their name to what was it? I forget. So I'm live and talking by myself, and I get tongue-tied. But she was there on their first premiere show of the new name, but they switched it back, which is fine. Smirk. Do the hokey pokey. And Mike, you can't look at the picture because you know what she's wearing in that picture, don't you? Edna's not here to yell at you so you can get away with saying one thing. She's wearing her plaid, dude. She looks good in that outfit. Even I will say that. But yeah, she'll be on there tomorrow night, Pamela. So if you can get your Pamela tomorrow night, she'll be right there at 8 o'clock. Change it back. Yeah, they did change it back. I didn't mind. I like the new name, but when you kind of brand yourself, it's hard to switch names. But tomorrow night works. Yeah, she'll be on there. She'll be doing an interview with Wayne and Michelle. So yeah, that will be, and they're always fun streams. Always a good time. She might even get to do it without me in chat. No, I shouldn't say that because if she's watching, she'll come and tell me tomorrow. You better be there tomorrow night. I start charging. No, just kidding, Gemma. You're my boss. I get it. I got to be there for the support. But let me get this one video queued up. I'm going to just leave it like that for right now. And let's see. It's good. Stop. I'm just not fast enough sometimes. Hey. Gabby. Let me try to get this right. And it looks good. Okay. I'm going to start this video here in a minute. We got 9 people watching. I'm going to start the video now. Let me get rid of this. Bum. Get rid of it totally. You got to be there, Ghosty. Oh, yeah. Sure. I'm telling you, Mike, if I was late the other night with the other afternoon with Rob, BMR. I could tell when I got in, she was watching for me. I don't know why she has to have me there, but it's so nice. It's good to feel that I have to be there, so I'm there. So I'll probably be there tomorrow. I'm sure she'll remind me. But yeah, let's do this. Tonight's video upload is like what we really should call them. is Real Encounters with Vampires Allegedly. Now, this is kind of like the third one of a set she's done. So let's do this. Now I screwed up again. I do this every time. I'm hoping I can stay in chat while I run this, but I can't make any promises. Nah, I don't want to do that. I did it again. I'm having issues tonight. Okay. Here we go. There we go. Okay. Let me switch this around because you don't want to look at my ugly mug. There we go. Yeah. Everybody, let me know you can hear this all right. I'm going to get it started here. 1 second.
I've discussed many times throughout several videos on this channel the idea of real vampires. And the only way I can really describe what I mean by that is by reminding you all of the vampires in Anne Rice's classic and absolutely fantastic novels about the vampire Lestat. The most famous of those, of course, is Interview with the Vampire, starring Tom Cruise as Lestat and Brad Pitt as Louis. That is the type of vampire I have been seeking out most of my life. And while I respect everyone's right to choose how they live, I am by no means talking about the human beings who dress like vampires and drink donor blood. Okay? I am talking about the real creatures of the night who roam around looking for helpless victims, oftentimes the so-called dregs of society, to drain or otherwise kill, and sometimes for a companion. Someone they can turn into one of the undead like themselves so that they can share all of eternity with them. I have an insane, like literally an insane obsession with the subject and have had one for as long as I can remember. I came across some encounters that people claim to have had with this exact creature, and I just had to bring it to you all today. In my other videos, I mentioned how there isn't much on people reporting sightings of or attacks by the real thing. So I'm very excited to bring this one to you all, but at the end of the day, the encounters here were still very disappointing to me. But then again, nothing but an actual vampire coming and being like, you're mine, and like turning me into one of them is really going to please me. It is what it is. So grab onto your significant other and release your fangs for some encounters with real vampires. Let's jump right in. So much of the time when reports of people having encounters with true-to-life vampires, it sounds ridiculous and absolutely absurd to most of the population. And I am of the opinion that that's the reason we don't hear about it very often, if at all. Fear of being ridiculed, shunned, and even called a liar or worse. This always baffles me, as reports of these exact types of things have been being told since the dawn of time. But it's like that with pretty much everything we cover on here. Like, none of this is new, guys. Even newer entities like the Glimmer Man or the pale humanoids, I believe they've always been here. It's just now, it's like with the internet and smartphones, we have better access to them, or maybe because we're onto them, they're being lured out of the woods. But yeah, so I don't get it. These creatures of the night suddenly appearing and sucking your blood, mainly from your neck, until you either pass out, turn into one of them, or actually die. It's obvious that it's much harder here in our modern age of endless technology and video access, not to mention the internet, for these things to be kept quiet, and yet they still are, or seem to be, at least in this case. It's easy for people to dismiss the older accounts from centuries and even decades ago as nothing more than myths and legends, or perhaps uneducated citizens thinking someone is a vampire for some other, admittedly most likely mundane reason. The best one I ever heard was when someone had a condition with their gums where the fang teeth are much more prominent than on most people. And the reason for that is because mine are exactly the same way. I have giant fang teeth here. I don't want to show you guys. I'm not going to show you my teeth. I have giant fang teeth. Okay. And RJ's too. My 4-year-olds too. I call them Eddie Munster teeth. It's just how we were born. And people were actually being accused of being vampires because of this. Whether or not you believe the witnesses and their encounters that I'm bringing to you today is completely irrelevant. As I always say, I am not trying to change minds as much as I'm trying to simply open them, even if just a little bit more. Regardless of what you believe at the end of the day, or really at the end of this video, most of you will be able to admit that what I'm bringing to you today is definitely creepy, if nothing else. There are more than a few encounters from what is said to be the old country of Eastern Europe, and it seems as though, just like with the BEK and other similarly evil and unknown, possibly misunderstood entities out there. Simply believing in them could be enough to bring them to you. Oh, if only I am right, vampires! Let's start with the spirits of Romanian lore. The Strigoi, which are said to roam the countryside in the dead and under the cover of night and search for helpless and hapless victims on which to feed. While there are many reports in the old ancient texts from this particular part of the world, as they have a rich history with vampire sightings and attacks, there are more modern reports that have come to light as well. One witness said of their alleged encounter with the undead, quote, Romanians believe that vampires exist. We call them Strigoi. The ones who scream, that's the translation of the word. Strigoi are evil spirits that come at night to torment people by calling out their names. Strigoi are bloodthirsty, just as vampires are. They can come in human or animal form. Strigoi are completely free on St. Andrew's night, 30th of November to be exact, our type of Halloween. My great-grandmother told my mom that she heard a Strigoi calling out her name. She said that it was very important to remain silent, otherwise bad things might happen. They have the power to cause health issues to people who respond to their calling. When my mom was a child, the whole community, along with the priest, went to the cemetery to kill a Strigoi. A man from the village had died. He was a sinner, or so everyone said. His family started to experience weird stuff. They would hear him calling out their names. Soon, all the members of his family fell ill. That's how they decided that their relative was a Strigoi. My mother remembers that they used a wood stake to kill that creature. She remembers some of the noises that were coming from the grave. My great-grandmother was there too. She said that the man looked like he was sleeping, even though it had been 6 months since he was deceased. End quote. I know y'all are looking at my ears right now. Sorry, there's a lot of spirit around. I was just channeling. So this one, while definitely strange, really isn't all that exciting. Anything and anyone could have been calling out this person's grandmother's name and causing health issues. While that definitely is concerning, it isn't really what we're looking for when it comes to encounters with vampires. And this reminded me of the books, The Vampire Academy. I love young adult fiction, especially when it concerns vampires or anything having to do with a dystopian society. So I read all of the Vampire Academy books, plus they had like a spin-off book of like one of the girls from the Vampire Academy. And in the book, you'd be a vampire, but if you become Strigoi, there's no turning back. You're just a bloodthirsty, mindless kind of like zombies are allegedly for brains or like human bodies. These Strigoi can't think of anything else. I don't know. Anyways, it's not really what I'm looking for when it comes to vampires, but it was still really creepy, really interesting, and does give me something to think about because I didn't know Strigoi was a real thing, probably pronouncing it wrong. Our next witness doesn't say what country she hails from or where her encounter happened, except to say that she is also from Eastern Europe. She claims to have been out at a party one night with some friends, and for whatever reason, her friends weren't available to give her a ride home at the end of the night when she was ready to leave. She was offered a ride from some random strangers, but since they had also been at the same party she was at with her friends, she gratefully accepted the ride home from them. Right as they were about to leave, the man in the group who was to be the one driving that night got called back inside of the house, and he was gone for what seemed to the witness like an incredibly long time. She finally got a bit frustrated and tired of waiting, and so she went back inside the house and asked the man if he was still planning on driving her home or what was going on. She said it got really creepy really fast. I did the best I could with translation, but that takes a lot of time, and I wanted to keep the encounters as authentic as possible, so don't mind the strange wording at points in her statement here. She said, quote, a man that was outside walked in the house with 2 more guys, and it caught my attention. He had medium brown / darkish hair, slim with loose clothes, very common looking actually, but that wasn't the thing that caught my attention. When he entered the house, I had just had a strong feeling coming from him that I cannot describe that well. He looked at me. He had dark brown, glassy eyes. He didn't say anything, but then he started to move around, and it was like nobody was noticing him, even the 2 guys that went with him. And that's when I realized that his movements were so unnatural or weird. Like as he was going further, it seemed like he was going backwards. His arms were behind his body as he moved. The feeling I had was not fear, though, like you would be scared of the unknown, like ghosts, demons, the dark, a horror movie, etc. This was a feeling I had a few times when someone died or saw something very graphic and gore related. Kind of the same feeling, and my brain just rewired in a way like you suffered a real psychological trauma. I swear I could feel it in my brain. It was the same feeling I had when I watched someone years ago falling off the stairs with blood running from his ears. It was not fear, but like the brain rewiring itself somehow. He looked at me intensely, what seemed at that time a very long period, and I couldn't move. I now remember opening my mouth halfway and just staring back at him, eyes and mouth wide open, and fixing my vision at him, but I didn't want to make contact with his eyes. Subconsciously, I think I told myself not to look for some reason. He never spoke a word or someone else engaging him. He went straight to the door after making these rounds inside the house, and for a second, he stood under the door entrance and turned his head again to look at me. He was pale white and, in a way, evoked the same feeling in me as before. He left. I tried to gather and tell myself that there was nothing wrong at all in all of this, and left my friend's house for home. I forgot about the whole thing while outside was freezing and me walking in the snow, feeling sleepy and tired, until I saw him again near a closed travel agency building. He was ahead of me, leaning against the glass walls. He didn't seem to notice me, but I knew that that was him. I switched sides on the sidewalk and got some distance between us, and with one eye looking over in his direction, he noticed me halfway and smiled shortly. I couldn't see his face better because of the snow and distance, but I noticed his mouth was deep red, almost like it was bloody. I picked up the pace, worrying that he might follow, but he stood his ground, and shortly after, we were out of range and on my way home. I am sure now, more than ever, that this was not a human. I sensed he wasn't human from the first moment, end quote. So, is the idea here that the stranger was in fact a vampire walking through the house, seemingly unseen or at the very least unnoticed by everyone else who was there besides this one girl who later came forward with the encounter? Is that what's being alleged? Could be, but then why hadn't he done anything to her when he noticed her noticing him? Had he not been able to find anyone with the right kind of blood, or who had whatever it was he was looking for? Like, it said that vampires can tell if you have like sweet blood, or like if you're an addict, like your blood's no good, or if you're like a heavy drinker, or like if you're a bad person. I don't know, guys. I have a lot of info on vampires. It's random and basic. Oh my gosh, my ears. At the end of the day, I'm sure I have absolutely no idea, but I do wonder, if I were in this situation and if I weren't rendered literally speechless, what would I have done or said? What would Gemma have done or said in this situation? Because I know without a doubt my curiosity would have gotten the better of me, and I would have had to try and speak to the stranger or otherwise further investigate. However, our witness didn't do either of these things or anything else, and that's where the encounter ends. Our next one happened in Salt Lake City, Utah, in the United States. Our witness comes right out and says that he knows how insane even the idea of vampires being real sounds, and that he himself was once a non-believer until something happened that completely changed his mind. So this guy says he was in some resorts in Salt Lake City, and that it, quote, was the type of place where you might encounter and or party with a rock star or an actor, end quote. Okay then, guy. He was there with one of his friends when a woman suddenly came into the room and walked directly to the bar, standing right next to this guy and his friend. He claims the woman, quote, immediately felt off, end quote, to him. And I take this to mean she was giving off some creepy or strange vibes, at least to our witness she was. He said, quote, this girl who just walked into the resort wasn't what you'd call pretty or classically beautiful, but she was very sexy, very tempting somehow. She was short, pale, very curvy and alluring. Her style/fashion was akin to Avril Lavigne. It was very punk rock with a small touch of goth. Even back then, I definitely perceived a darkness and uniqueness about her, but that may have been induced from her fashion choice alone. Anyways, Avril, not her real name, but what I'll call her for this retelling, and this guy stroll up to the front desk, talk to the employee, I assume he was checking her into the room or something of that nature, and immediately afterwards he leaves the resort for good. I'm also assuming this. I'm assuming he left because she wasn't with him again that I saw over the next 10 days. Well, a day or two passed, but eventually Avril and I became familiar with each other and began hanging out. After about 20 minutes, it became very clear she was interested in me. Oddly, the very first thing she said to me was, "Did you know that you have a golden aura? When I first saw you, it was amazing. You're very rare." I don't believe a word of this aura stuff, but she was sexy as hell, so I played along. I've had plenty of shallow moments in my life. Oh, really? Wow. No, I didn't know that, I said, but I just eliminated it from my mind. I was there to party, ski, and just have fun. I wasn't going to express my doubts about her ability, or anyone else's ability for that matter, to actually see auras. Another time when Avril and I were hanging out, we sat next to each other on a couch, but I noticed she was getting as close to me as possible without actually touching me. She's making sure I smell her hair, look into her eyes, notice her low-cut shirt, etc., etc. Even now, there's a certain power to her, and she's nothing but a memory. So I decided, F it, and I lightly rested my arm on hers and lightly pressed my leg up against hers. After all, she clearly wanted me to. I can't explain what happened next, as it's both completely ineffable and completely illogical. But after we touched, some of it skin on skin contact, some of it clothes on clothes contact, my arms and legs immediately and intensely began to heat up. It was as if someone pressed a chunk of dry ice against my body. It wasn't intense enough to yelp or scream out. The actual physical plane was only slightly uncomfortable. I should be clear about something. I am 100% positive this wasn't dopamine/endorphins or any other chemicals being released into my bloodstream via some catalyst in my brain. This was unnatural, and right before this happened, Avril and I were laughing, flirting, practically about to start making out. But during the dry ice session and immediately afterwards, her silence was literally deafening. I've run through most reasonable explanations, and two remain which are possible. I had some sort of allergic reaction, which I'd never had before or since. It was all in my mind, and something like this has never happened before or since. I can't with 100% certainty discount these more plausible explanations, but certain things keep coming back into my mind. In closing, I've never seen a ghost, UFO, Bigfoot, or anything that could be considered paranormal. I'm a very grounded person. I'm the type of person who mentally adjusts anything and everything possible into numbers/statistics/probabilities. For this typically allows me to possess a deeper understanding of certain things. For most of my life, I considered vampires to be sheer nonsense, a silly myth or superstition, which originated from an overactive imagination somewhere along the way of human history. As a matter of fact, it was my opinion that the existence of vampires was about as plausible as Santa Claus sliding down my chimney on Christmas. If someone had expressed to me that they believed in vampires, I'd have sincere doubts pertaining to their mental capability and stability. You see, my mind is a slave to logic, mathematics, and reason, which is most likely why I'd have scoffed at the notion of vampires. Yet I now believe it's very possible there is a very small percent of the world's population who have found a way to feed on people in a paranormal sense. I'm not referring to typical cannibals, end quote. First of all, sir, I believe in all of this. I've experienced all of this, and I too am a very, in capital letters, grounded person. I take offense to that. So guys, I'm really not sure about this one. There is a little bit to the slight burning of the skin aspect to it that is sometimes said to happen when a supernatural being or creature is getting too close to us and we have a golden aura. Yes, I do believe it was his aura that both attracted Avril and put her off from him all at the same time. Though, if this were true, I believe she would have known that this would be the effect she would have on someone with a golden aura. Maybe the temptation was too much to resist, but she was unable to go through with her intentions. Remember, at least according to legend and most fairly believable encounters with them, their skin, vampires, is ice cold. So for the touching to have made his body burn hot, the aura is the only thing I can think of that would be reasonable as to why that happened if she were a vampire. Try to stay with me because I really tried to break this down. However, for as much random details as he puts into this encounter, some of them seemingly unnecessary in my opinion, he doesn't go much at all into what happened after he started burning up and she seemed to be immediately put off by him. While many people who aren't too familiar with auras or who get most of their knowledge secondhand, like from books or movies or the internet, they believe that each aura has its own specific color and each color has its own specific meaning. Now, I found this to not be the case at all. Every person who can see auras most likely has their own associations for each color and how it makes them feel and how it resonates with them, though they most likely do know the commonly accepted colors and meanings usually as well. The golden aura is usually the one exception to this rule, though, and that it is the aura of not only peace but of protection, and it's an extremely rare color for anyone to have. It means the person is protected and has been blessed by some specific deity or being, though usually they have no idea which one because most of them don't realize they have a golden aura. Golden is also the aura of full spiritual wealth and can in some cases be obtained by working on our spirituality. Admittedly, I have seen glimpses of it in people sometimes ever so lightly surrounding the edges of the other color or colors, but I haven't met but one other person with a golden aura who wasn't a baby or young innocent child. Anyways, let's move on. In 2011, someone I'll call Luke for the sake of his anonymity claimed he was a political activist who participated in many demonstrations at the time the encounter or interaction with an alleged vampire took place. On the evening in question, he said that he was camped out in the downtown square of some unnamed city in some unnamed place in the United States, and that he and his fellow demonstrators remained at this camp for a full 4 months. During this time, a stranger would appear, and he seemed to want to be sure that his presence was known, even if his intentions were not. Luke said of the whole thing, quote, "We camped in a downtown square for about 4 months. Throughout this period, a lot of people came in and out, and by the second month, I had to travel to another city where my parents were living for a week. When I came back to the occupation, there was a guy living there that arrived exactly when I left. He somehow already had some respect from the other people in a very short period of time. He was tall, blonde, long hair, a bit hippie, had a profound voice that implied self-confidence. He had by some means a strange aura." There it is again. The aura, right? I'm going to get into that. But okay, no big deal. Seemed like a cool guy after a while. With time, he became my friend, and we ended up having long conversations about pretty much everything that interested me and vice versa, like occultism, magic, UFOs, etc., until he brought up the vampirism subject, which I was not familiar with at the time. He explained to me some stuff like vampires were actually normal people that could manage their own life force, and apparently they've been misinterpreted since always. And he told me that there are some secret vampire groups, small ones that preserve the rituals. There was no blood sucking going on, as he said that the blood was an analogy to life force. There were no actual sucking it from people. But they could indeed suck someone's life force. But more important, he said, was to know how to use your own. The conversation finished there. The whole thing seemed interesting to me. And after a while, we went to sleep. Some days later, here's what happened. My house was quite close to the occupation. And once in a while, some of my friends would often ask me to use my bathroom to have a shower. And then this guy asked me the same. So I said, yeah, no problem at all. Everything went fine. The guy had a shower, and when we were walking back to the occupation, he brought up the subject about vampirism again. This time, he was wearing an anonymous plastic mask, which completely covered his face. He started to explain to me how one can control his own life force inside the dreams and how that would affect the actual material body. Meanwhile, while he's explaining this to me, I see his jaw making a strange movement as if there was something stuck between his teeth and he was trying to clean it. When he finishes the explanation, he calls me by my name and raises this mask slightly so I can take a look at his mouth. And then I see this huge canine tooth. He pulls down the mask. I didn't know how to react, so I just remained calm and I asked him what that was for if they didn't actually suck blood from other people. And he told me it worked out as a sort of antenna to capture different vibrations, and he managed to construct it by molding his life force into that shape while inside of his dreams. And he asked me if I would be interested in doing the same. I told him that it sounded interesting, and he just let me think about it. We arrived at the occupation as if nothing had happened. I didn't see any strange movements by his hands trying to insert a fake tooth in his mouth or trying to remove it after. The sensation I got was that he pulled the tooth out by a jaw movement. The whole thing was very strange and hard to digest. I didn't know what to do, so I called my friend, and he just said that the whole story sounded too crazy to be believed. We still lived together in the occupation for a while, but I never brought up the subject again. The guy totally noticed my attempt to avoid it, so he didn't push it on me either. There was another strange fact after a while. Once he was shirtless and crouched, organizing some stuff inside his tent, and the muscles on his back formed the shape of a winged dragon. It was incredibly similar. Another girl that was at the occasion witnessed it and freaked out a little bit. End quote. That was a mouthful. I don't like editing the quotes because I want to give proper quotes. I edited these a little bit, but it's like the first time in so long I actually had to do that. It gets very confusing, so I hope you guys were able to follow along. So guys, I was on board completely up until the very end in the winged dragon thing, but I would still like to kind of unpack this a little bit, if you guys don't mind, that is. First of all, to allege that a vampire itself said there's no blood sucking going on sounds entirely unreasonable to me and makes no sense at all. Also, dead people have no aura. So if he would have said the guy had no aura at all, it would have been a bit more believable to me. The nondescript mask makes sense as vampires are said to take rituals very seriously. And if we believe this encounter to be true, it's more than likely that this vampire was looking for a companion. I was thinking about the aura thing, and I have to wonder, as I've said so many times before when pondering these particular creatures, if they're undead, as in someone or something that cannot die, or if they are, as alleged other times, people who died but were then raised from the dead. Some people can be chosen to be companions while they're still alive, and therefore they don't die in order to be brought back as a vampire. Like, yes, they have to die, from the vampire, but it's not that they died and the vampire dug them up and pulled them out like a zombie and then turned them. It doesn't work that way. So for them to be called the undead, it's like, I don't know. There's so much, guys. There's so much. According to most legends out there, in order for someone to be turned, they first have to be drained, at least mostly, of their blood. So I do not and have never understood why people always assume every single vampire that has ever existed or that ever will exist would have to be someone who long ago died and left behind a gravestone or some saddened family somewhere. Is it true that vampires sometimes roam around in places where there's a lot of sickness and people are on the brink of death? Sure, as far as I know. But at that point, I believe they are simply looking for an easy meal to put someone suffering out of their misery, or both. Now, before I ramble on and on and on and pick this entire thing apart word for word, until there's nothing left, let's move on. Could some of the encounters we come across, whether it be in this video or in any of the others I've done on the subject, simply be of eccentric men and women? Absolutely. And I feel as though most of the time that's exactly what's going on. Other explanations that have been given on the subject that I could definitely subscribe to are that they aren't vampires, but extraterrestrials or some other form of non-human being or entity, or even creature. After all, everything is possible when you don't know what you're dealing with other than what you've learned only from myths and legends of them and how they allegedly work. So, our next report also comes from an unknown place in the United States, and our witness said he was living with his single mom and that she had met a man online whose name was Mike, and that before he even knew what was happening, he and his mom were moving in with him, this guy Mike. It was way too quick, at least in his opinion, but he figured if his mom was happy, then who was he to try to ruin that for her or give her a hard time? He was almost 18 anyway and figured he would be moving out and going to college soon enough. He only knew his mom's new boyfriend's first name, and that he lived, quote, in the middle of nowhere, end quote. He said the place was surrounded by very deep woods and had no neighbors anywhere near the area where the house itself stood. He said things got really creepy once he decided to get out and explore the woods and other areas local to his new home. He also said that Mike himself was also a major part of the creep factor, so I'll let him tell it. Quote, at the very end of the town, just before miles of woods, there was an abandoned church that was pretty creepy. I met a guy at school who was one grade below me, but still in the same school, and we became friends. He was the one who showed me where the abandoned church is. This is when things got weird. He told me he was a vampire and that there were other vampires in our school, and he wanted me to be a part of their clan. Though it was more like a gang because I honestly didn't believe them, but I went along with it for fun and some adventure. At first, we didn't do much besides meet at his house, ride bikes around, or play video games. Things soon got serious when he wanted me to do something bad in order to join his vampire group, and he told me I had to smash the windows of the abandoned church. So I drove up on my bike and threw some rocks at the windows. We both drove away on our bikes to his house, and we ran inside. About a week later, the most horrifying experience in my life yet happened when he wanted me to go into the woods with him, and he told me we were going to the clan meeting house. I followed him into the woods, and he started running, and I ran after him. I figured it was because people always say that vampires run fast. We came to a barbed wire fence that had a sign not to enter because it was private property, and without even stopping, he jumped right over it, so I did the same. The next barbed wire fence we had to crawl under, and at this point, we were very, very deep in the woods until we came to an open field. There was a small pond and an old barn house. I started to see some other people there, and it was kind of crazy to think that these people just hung out there on someone's land. He took me to the barn and opened the door. And that's when I saw it. A woman with no clothes on, chained up to a support beam, and she was obviously dead as her head had been removed. When I saw the woman, I was extremely frightened and started shaking, but I had to act normal because I didn't want to give them a reason to think I was going to give them up to the cops. Not to mention, We did some illegal things together, and if I called the cops, I would have to tell them the other things that I did with them. The worst part was when they were all around me and watching me, and then my friend told me to touch the woman and he handed me a knife. He started telling me the best places to stab somebody to kill them with one stab, and he wanted me to practice on this woman's body. I had no other choice than to do what he told me. But here's the twist in the story. Most people would have been scared because of seeing the body or knowing they were right beside these killers. The scary part is that I enjoyed all of this and have thoughts of hurting people on my own. I've never been the same person since that day. End quote. Okay. So this sounds more like the rantings of a boy much younger than 17 who likes that he will get attention by putting the most insane encounters he could literally think up on the internet. I don't believe in this one at all. And I also don't know why he made such a big deal in the beginning of his explanation about how weird Mike was. If I don't believe in them, then why did I put it here? I know some of you are thinking that because maybe one of you guys will believe in it or see it in a different light or see something I didn't hear that rings true to you. If you do, please let me know in the comments below. I'm also disappointed the encounter doesn't really seem to have any sort of real ending and kind of just trails off. Did he do these things? Did he not do them? If he didn't, then how was he just allowed to leave? I guess he said that he did do it, but like, I don't know. So many questions. I was only just a little bit less disappointed with these encounters than I was with most of the other so-called modern day vampire encounters I've come across and brought to you. And I still think my first video had the most believable ones to date. But don't worry, because that will not stop me from continuing on my search for the real vampires, like Lestat, like Louis. And I will bring you every single thing I find on the subject, if that's okay with you. That's all I have for you today, guys. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed hanging out with me, if you enjoyed the content, if you just want to see me smile, spread the love by sharing this video. On October 26th, it's a Wednesday, I'm doing a book signing in Sussex, New Jersey. If you're in the area, want to come by and hang out, get a book signed, take some pics, have a drink, I don't know, whatever. I'm going to be doing a book signing and paranormal night. So the book signing's from 6 to 9, and then probably from 9 to closing, I'm just going to be hanging out and chilling. Ghostdragonzw is going to be with me in person there, as well as some of my family, really good friends. So Sussex, New Jersey, if you're in the area on October 26th, please let me know. Hit me up. My email is GemmaJadeParanormal@gmail.com. In the description box, you will find a link to Amazon for the paperback and Kindle versions of both of my books, Missing the Fae Theory and Encounters with Evil, 101 Terrifying and True Stories. If you would like a signed or autographed copy and you can't make it to the book signing, then please hit me up before you make the purchase. I feel like the camera's slowly going down again. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. If you would like to make a donation to the channel, PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, Amazon wish list gift link. If you don't have the money, guys, send me a small gift. I mean, it's all good. You guys send me the most amazing and lovely gifts off of that wish list. I've been so shocked by the beautiful things that I've received, all of the incredible donations, and just your guys' friendships. I really do appreciate and love you guys very, very much. I know that I'm forgetting a lot of things right now, but be kind to each other, guys. It doesn't cost anything. Be kind to yourself and never accept anything less than others being kind to you. Because you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're worth it, you deserve the world, you are smart, you are capable, you are amazing and incredible. You are a bright beacon of light in the world, and if someone can't see that, that person's not for you. Always go in grace, smile at a stranger, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Okay. You're welcome, Pamela. Hold on. Everything's got to reset. There we go. You're more than welcome. Yes, the readings are great. So they're worth it. And if you want like kind of like a test run, come in on a Friday night when she's doing oracles. Like I said, probably be a week from this coming week. Not this weekend, but next weekend. And you can get a card pulled and kind of get a feel of what she does. Man, she nails it every time. I think everybody in this room will pretty much vouch for that. Since Gemma, miniature goat. And Slow, Yeah, some of that she was real skeptical on too. So, and I'll let her know. Usually new people I write down, so we kind of watch for them as if they come back in. If you come in for a reading and you've never had one with her, I keep the list on the stream, and I'll move you up so you can get it faster for the first time. That way you don't have to wait for too long. It's actually, last night was a good night. Friday night was an awesome night. We were here till what, a little after 11, around 11. It was a good night. And she was rambling. Started off a little rough because she wasn't feeling good, but by the end of the night, man, we were all laughing and having a good time. Oh, thanks. You are too, man. You are too. I appreciate it, though. There's so many good people in this room. Some wonderful folks. In fact, most of the chats that I go into, there's a couple that tend to have infighting, but in most of the chats are really awesome. Not in Gemma's. We have the best folks here. The misfit toys, as she likes to call them. Or gemstones. But yes, Pamela, she'll be doing, she does a premiere, which is just like what you just watched. Basically, the videos I'm running now, or uploads, are the ones she did before you could do a premiere where you can show a video and have live chat for the first video. A lot of these never got this. So kind of do it that way. Kind of try to do it like in little groups of little topics. And I'm back. No window walkers. But while you were gone, I got bad news for you, dude. I ate the rest of your Cheetos. Gemma can be scary or accurate sometimes. Oh, yeah, she can nail it. I mean, she has freaked people out. I knew it. Yeah, I finished them while you were gone. They were almost gone anyways. You're fine. You can't fire me. Only Gemma can. Oh, she helped me eat half the bag. But yeah, she is. She's always on the nose. And I enjoy her videos. I happened to stumble upon her a long time ago. And before she was really doing anything big. I'm so telling you. Oh, the Gemma 8 half doesn't work. That's funny. Tell on me. Go ahead. Tell on me. I'll be okay. She likes me better. I don't know. She might like you better. Huh? You're smarter, so. I guess I'll just go ahead and leave then. See you guys. Because he'll go cry. Oh, I ate my Cheetos. I'm in that trash. You know what? The Windy Walker gave me the Cheetos. He took them from me a long time ago. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I will text her about it in the morning. Oh, no. She's probably going to see this if she's not watching it now. She's probably laughing her butt off. I hope. Yes, Gemma's a great lady. She's a good girl. We all like Gemma. Man, can she ramble. I love listening to her ramble. Yeah, like I said, I showed her Monday video. Let me do that again while I'm sitting here. I don't know how long I'm going to last. I mean, it was nice to be lazy today. I actually might get a couple hours sleep tonight, which would be beautiful. Let me pop her back up here. Do a little advertising when I'm done. Also, she's got some books out there, Pamela, if you'd like to be interested in her books. So all in the description. Please check them out. And leave a review if you get a couple. Let me do this. If I can just do this again. Sometimes I have the worst time with this crap. Good. That's perfect. Now get rid of that. I'm learning. Okay. And put me back like this. There we go. So that's what the noon video is. And then I think she was still, like I said, I think she was still editing her 11 o'clock video upload. But they should be good. They're always good. I love listener encounters. So any kind of encounter stories, I always love. I'll tell you, raided my fridge, me long distance calls tormented by pets. What's that? Dragon? Sometimes I wonder myself. Though I've gotten a little older, I now average maybe 2 hours length. And usually Friday nights after oracles, I get a good 4 hours sleep. But that's considering that night might have been the only 4 hour sleep I got all week. But I didn't last night, man. I was all over the place last night. I was hurting puppy dog. My body would not stop. And my brain was so tired. That's why I made a lazy day today, because it just was, okay, I'm not doing anything, and we keep it that way. And it's kind of set the tone, so I'm kind of hoping that maybe, because, like I said, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I didn't sleep at all. Really? But there's a lot of people like me out there. It's one thing or another. That's why I do this show. And the Wednesday show. But sometimes I get off early just so because I can't. I sit here for too long, I start getting antsy. And it's not a good thing. There you go. Yeah, that they were on the topics. Yeah. All of them are good books. Campfires is good. There have been some mistakes, but I think they fixed them all. But yeah, they're great books. They're fun reads. I will say that. And they're easy. You can pound them down. They're awesome reads. I haven't read the first volume. I'd listened to it on. I'm actually waiting for the books. I've listened to everything but Campfire Stories 2 and Gone 2. I'm about halfway through it, and I had to stop it. I got busy. Yeah, they're nice. Well, they're nice, easy books to read, and they don't need to be very expensive. And they're, like I said, they're worth the price. Oh yeah, and it isn't expensive. I'm hoping if a couple of them, I would like to have a hard copy of this one. Let me switch my camera around so you can read it. What do you do? All right, there you go. I'd like to have this little one. It's not a big book, but it's a good read. But I'd like to have like a hard copy of this one. This is a good book. I think she wanted to go a kind of a different direction with it, but I liked it. And the title is, but it's a good book. I totally enjoyed it. Yeah. And then this was her third book. This is a great book. Yeah. I like this. Though Steve Stockton's not on the book cover anymore. And I got Danger in the Door. I had to listen to that one. I'm still waiting to get my crap together to get the books. I need to get off my butt and buy her books. I'm telling you, they're good, quick reads. Like I said, the only one that I think you know, it was kind of, she wanted to delve more in the entities. You have to talk to her about it. We'll have to talk to her about one day about this book. I like this book. It's a good book. But I don't know. I don't think she wanted to convey. I felt like she didn't convey or wanted to convey what she wanted to convey. I don't know. But yeah. And the rest of them are great. I mean, shoot. Quick read. I've probably read all of them probably twice now. And those are the kind of books I read in about 2 hours. Maybe 2.5 if I get up and walk around for a bit. And I usually do that when I'm reading. Because I don't sit still very long. I mean, these streams are probably the longest I sit. Got all but like one, I think. Which one, Mike? The new ones? Now, see, I don't have either one of the campfire stories or the Gons in the books. And then the second one in Danger of the Door. Danger at the Door. And she's working on the second Gon now, I believe. Like if she'd stop for a second, I'd let her write my story. I don't think I could do it by myself now. I can't sit still long enough. And if anybody's going to write any of my stuff, I'd have to have her do it. To be quite honest. It'd only be right. But yeah, they're good reads. So check them out. Those who are still watching. Yeah, it's Promote Gemma Night. Which is what this is really about. I'm trying to get her up. I think she's going to do, she says, I think during the week she's going to do her, I asked her to do like an introductory video for Rumble. And then I want to sit with her so we can try to do a live stream on there and see how it goes. I don't think we could do, I don't know if I want to do oracles on YouTube and the other channel at the same time. That's a lot of names. That'd get kind of confusing. 2 different platforms to try to do it on. Yeah, Steve. I mean, I'm glad he got married. Did him good. They seem to be doing good. That was a while ago. Yeah, a couple of years back. Actually, it does feel, it does. It's really not that long ago, but it feels like it is. I mean, it was only a couple of years ago. Well, but really, about almost 3 years ago. Yeah, that's been a bit. Like I think she said the other time. I don't know. We might be going on. We're over a year streaming together now. So she got used to me. I don't even know. I can't. If I can get see, I can't even talk. I can't even get used to myself sometimes. But Ryan, Tuesday sounds good. The Lizard Man. And then what do you want to do? What do you want to do the following Tuesday so I can tell her, so she can prep for it? What do you think we should do? I got the list. Wait, that's not it. Where's the list? Here it is. Oh, we'll do Frogman next. Isn't that what we were talking? This Tuesday, do Lizard Man. Then the following Tuesday, do Frogman. Is that how you want to do it? Are you still around, or did you fall over a Cheeto I left on the floor? Feels longer. Doesn't it though, slow? It does. It was like, I was watching her before she started with Steve. And she was just got done with the addiction stuff where she was trying to help people and give information. Then she went into YouTube, kind of forced her out of that. So she went into crime mysteries and, missing people, missing folks. And then she hooked up with Steve. And then she left Steve. That came in. And then she did SOR. Then I came in after SOR. And that was SOR was great with her and Big Willie, her and Big Willie could do a show by themselves and just have a killer show. They were great together, and they laughed so hard. She'd snort. It was crazy. Back in the old days. Yeah, isn't it truth? Feels like it. You wonder if it was in black and white. You know what I'm saying? That was back in the days of black and white. That's when things were a little bit more black and white for sure. Now somebody make that take that wrong. Gemma was the first YouTube channel I ever subbed to. Oh, that's nice, Slow. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I think you've told me that. Thanks, everyone. You have all been great. I have a family meeting to be their caregiver early Monday. Going to get some sleep. Well, you go get some rest. Thank you for joining us, Pamela. And you have a wonderful weekend. I don't know where you're located, but if you're here in the States and you celebrate Memorial Day, have a good Memorial Day weekend, the rest of it. And have a wonderful night and a wonderful start to your weekend, okay? Thank you so much for stopping in and hanging out. Yes, Dragon, sweet dreams. All right, folks. I need to jump, get the fur bird. Yep, go do your thing, Ryan. And if I don't talk to you over the day tomorrow or Monday, I'm sure we will. Yeah, you know you can yell at me anytime, dude. I'll see you Tuesday. Cool breeze. Have a good one. Have a wonderful night. I'm going to hang out just a tad bit longer. What time we got here? I'll probably hang out till 2 and call it a night, if that's all right with everybody. You have a good one tomorrow, Ryan. I'm sure I'll yell at you in Facebook somewhere, make fun of you, so, or you'll make fun of me, so. Yes, be blessed. All you guys be blessed. And once again, Pamela, thank you so much for stopping by. It was nice to have you. I'm glad you had a good time. And we hope to see you Monday if you're around. You might not be around because you're going to be busy. 6:21 a.m. day is just starting. You know, I'm almost ready for a cup of coffee. I could almost use that time to go out there and grab me a cup of coffee, but nah. I'm actually, like I said, I've been chilling all day. I've set a tone. Maybe I'll sleep tonight. I doubt it, but God, I got to try. Does it get a little edgy? Not as much edgy. It's just I hurt. I've cranked out. Like I said, I've been go all week, and I want to get up and take care of things so I can get home tomorrow afternoon. At least be home before Gemma gets on for Wayne and Michelle on Michigan UFO sightings. Now remember, folks, that's at 8 o'clock. I don't know. Do I still have it on here? Let's see if I still have the link on my thing. Yes, I do. And here. Do this. I can't spell. Ding dong. I'm going to make it short. Why did it do that? Why stop? Sorry, that was a goofy laugh. Well, here's the link. Something's messing up on my keyboard. Shouldn't I just cleaned it? There we go. There's the link for the interview with Wayne and Michelle tomorrow night. Please stop in. She would love to support. At 8 o'clock p.m. That's ET time here. So whatever time frame you're in. You live in the future. Yes, he does. And he still can't give us any answers. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything. Sometimes I tend to do that. 8 people still in here. Well, I want to thank the 8 people that are still in here. Thank you for enjoying her video, her replay. That was about a year ago. That was when we went and did the book signing, so 2 years ago. I think. Yeah, 2 years ago. So that was right before we went and did the book signing for her first book. I believe that it was. Yeah, I think it was. I am sworn to secrecy. Yeah, that's what they all say. Who's paying you, man? Yeah, anybody got any big plans for the next 2 days? Just chilling, going to see family. Now, we have a parade up at the top of the street. I didn't go last year because he wasn't feeling the best. But it's literally we just walk at the top, and the parade ends in the cemetery that I live beside. So if we don't go up there, sometimes we sit out and watch the parade come down. The people leave the parade, so you basically still get to see a parade, and then you get to hear all the stuff we're at the ceremony from our house. So. Yeah, he likes to go up and likes to go, but it's just getting too rough. Now, if it's nice tomorrow, I like to try to keep him up there. I meant Monday. But yeah, I'm starting to wind down. I'm ready to get out of the chair. Yeah. So, like I said, anybody got any good things going on? Any streams coming up? Like I said, we got Wayne and Michelle's tomorrow night with Gemma. And me and him will be on here Tuesday at 1 for Tuesday talk. Chilling and grilling and going from. You should have decent weather, so I know most of the country's kind of chilling out tomorrow. I think I have to look. I know we're supposed to get slammed tomorrow night. There's a big chance that we may get slammed tomorrow night with the weather. I like living near a cemetery. The neighbors are quiet. Pretty much. I agree with that, Slow. Now that the neighborhood's filling up with kids now, it's not so cool. But it's nice to hear the kids now, too. Because neighborhoods go through cycles. I've literally watched this neighborhood go growth cycles. I'd like to take the old man fishing. He's been dying to go, so we may get him out. God love him. We didn't get to go last year because things were so crazy from the fire and it was a nightmare. So I want to get him out this year. Yeah, we're all fishermen in this. And like I said, my son got up this morning and went golfing. So, and the Road King, there you go. Slow motion is the head of the Men in Black and in charge of the black-eyed children. Oh, really? There's a few graves back here. I mean, it's not that old, but it goes back to Civil War. So yeah, I'm sure a little bit before that. The land I live on, actually, the neighborhood is on the Davis Estates. I like telling the neighbors that, yeah, we're the Davis. It cracks me up. But anyways, ironically, where we live is the Davis Estates. The people around the corner were also named Davis. And a lot of people thought it was them because they lived in the original farmhouse, but it wasn't. And it wasn't a very big farmhouse. And it wasn't a big farm. But, yeah. I play Wii golf. I used to love PlayStation 1 and 2, Hot Shot Golf. I was actually not too bad at that. But not so good. I like my fighting games. And play Fortnite with Gemma and my son. A couple of people we get on play. I suck at Call of Duty. God knows I try. I may try again. There's a cross there, which is the oldest in the world. Oh, I wouldn't doubt that at all. That's all old land anyway. So, I mean, it's all old land, but you know what I'm saying. No, I wouldn't doubt that one bit. I bet it's beautiful too. Do they keep it up? You should take a picture and send it to me. And post it. Make a backdrop with it or something. But yeah, 1,400 years old. That's pretty old. But then again, a lot of went on over there too. Yeah, Dad's always wanted to take a metal detector and go through this neighborhood. And we have a creek and the Tangi River. There's a young man that lives down the street. Every couple of days, you'll see him. He must be off from work, and he'll either have his fishing pole or his metal detector, and he goes down the river and walks the creek in the river. He says he's found some good stuff. So he never showed me anything good, but he says he's found good stuff. Heard those spirits restless. You know it. Well, it was maintained and open to the public. I don't game much, but I do like the Wii golf. Everybody's got their own thing. I game a lot of reasons I kept gaming. I was always a big gamer, but I kept gaming now because it's good for my eye-hand coordination and stuff. Keeps me going. Kind of gives me something to focus on. But I can only play for like maybe an hour and a half. If I go more than 2 hours, I start shaking. And sometimes, depending on the game, will depend on how long I last, how much there is flashing and stuff. But yeah, I've been known to play. I went in the day, man. We used to play all night. Have Mortal Kombat fights all night long. And play hockey on the Genesis. Football. I never was good at Madden. We played a lot of. I had a buddy that liked the college football games, so I tried to play with him to keep him happy. It's illegal to use metal detectors here, as the entire country is considered to be. Yeah, I was just gonna say it probably would be considered that. My father was big into metal detecting. He paid for my oldest brother to go get 5 colors. Oh, that's cool. So just with the metal detector, I wouldn't doubt it. Man, that's like watching those guys magnet fishing. I've seen some guys pull out some pretty cool stuff. So yeah, it's worth it. I know he did say that he's found coins and stuff, slugs, old musket balls, stuff like that down there. The old Tangi River used to be used to take product from Worthington, Columbus, and then they'd hit the Scioto River and follow it down. And this is all Indian country, Blackfoot and stuff like that. See, now this is where I'm trying to learn with Ryan and everybody here, because I know of Native Americans. I know some of the main tribes stuff, but I knew some tribes living here. My thing has always been the Hopewell and the Adinas, because there's all kinds of mountains around here, all kinds of mountains. Just like in this whole state area, plus what, Minnesota, Wisconsin, they're all over the place. I'm going here on the West Coast. Yeah, metal detecting is pretty cool. I mean, the few times we actually got to go and I actually got to use it, you can find some good stuff. I think the big thing is people like to hit the beaches because they find watches, rings. But you go to the creeks and the rivers, that's when you find the classic stuff. That's when you start finding guns, money, and just find just about anything. That's like I said, that's like magnet fishing. Those guys stand on the bridges with the magnets down the middle of the river. They pull out bikes, everything. You never know what you might find. That is true. And it's like Sloan said, you do that and where he's at, you're liable to find something that's probably worth a lot of money. So I don't want you to have it. Have one. That was like to live in a country that don't let you metal detect. You'd find some good stuff there. There's no doubt. I probably through most of Great Britain and Ireland and Scotland, along all that northern Sweden and all that Viking stuff, then work your way down. That every country make a killing. I'm babbling now. I can tell. What time we got here? Yeah, 6 people. Like I said, folks, thanks for hanging out. We are going to call it here pretty soon. I think I'm going to head and let it go tonight. I'm going to make it a short one. I do need to get up and get moving. I better go out and do some Tai Chi and stretch the legs, do my exercises. Maybe can wind down and actually sleep. I like to see if I can get more than an hour or two of sleep tonight. Anything you find here belongs to the state. I figured that. Yeah, it's usually the case. In high school, I took summer school because I found out they have an archaeology class and you actually get to go and dig one of the mounds here. Turned out to be a mound right up north of me in Delaware. And found all kinds of clay pots. I thought I'd get to keep them. Nope. Because the teacher kind of let us believe that we'd get to keep them. But they all went to historic. I'm glad I didn't because I'd be afraid to hurt them. But they all went down to the historical center. They're on display still to this day, I think. I found 2 real nice pots, a figure, what looked like a piece of a pipe. One guy found a whole crap of like scrap arrowheads and stuff. It was pretty wild. No bones or nothing. But they only let us go so far. No giants. But it wasn't a very big mound. But it is cool. It's very cool. I think Chris Jarvis used to do stuff like that. Has done stuff like that too. If Chris, you're listening, dude, didn't you do stuff like that? But yeah, he's educated in that stuff too. But yeah, it was probably one of my favorite classes. I had a blast. I mean, it was all summer long. We did like 3 different mounds. It was so cool. I learned a lot. That's how I got really into the mound builders. Plus, I'm not too far from the Hopewell and the Serpent Mounds, but maybe an hour drive from me. But see, over there, slow, I would love just to walk the countryside. You know, my family's all from Scandinavia and stuff like that. So I'd love to go there sometime. We were all, from what everybody thinks, and everybody's tested, we're Viking descent and pretty much became mutts once we came into America. Which I don't mind being a mutt. Yeah, I've always been a mutt in one way or another, so. So we got, what was it, 1:45? Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. You guys have been awesome. I'll let you guys go on. Have a good night. I'm getting antsy. I got to get up. I got to move. There are some amazing sites here. Oh, I bet there are. I actually went inside there as a kid. Oh, really? I'm not going to try to say it because I'm having problems talking already. But I bet that was cool. Now you grew up there, right? You're raised, born, the whole works there. You're not like somebody that moved there. Now Twas, I believe she's over there or he's over there. War criminal, what's up? How you doing? Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm getting ready to close it down too, War Criminal. It's my body's getting AIDS. I can only sit for so long. Last night was a nice long night with Gemma, so we lasted 4 hours. So I think it, and then I've been lazy all day for nights. Like I said, it's one of those blue moon days. Me and Ralph were talking. He said it's like a blue moon when he gets to be lazy all day. This was my blue moon day, and back to the grindstone tomorrow. Yes, I'm the full Irish. Yeah, okay. Or see, there's a little bit of Irish in us, just a little bit. On my mom's side. Yeah, she's the mixed. But yeah, and my mom always wanted to go to Ireland too. She loved it. She loved that place and never been there, and it's just amazing. She has all kinds. We had to pack up all of her knickknacks because of the fire, and we didn't realize how much stuff she had. And a lot of it was all Irish crosses and Celtic stuff. So yeah. Hey, War Criminal, you have a good weekend. Have a wonderful and safe Memorial Day, okay? And thanks again for stopping by and hitting the like. I do appreciate it. And Gemma does too, because this is her channel. I do this for her. Well, we kind of giving you guys a place to hang out, talk, rap, take a break. And it's like One Girl in a Monster on Tuesdays and Thursday, you know. I don't compare my shows to his, but we're a little more, not as many people and a little more chilled about what we talk. They're the same way. I kind of fill in that Wednesday gap. Plus, it keeps the algorithm going for Gemma, which is good. Because YouTube's gonna get crazier and crazier as we get closer and closer to the elections. So please, folks, make sure you hit the like. If you're watching the replay, please hit the like, leave a comment. That'd be awesome. And donations for stuff's in the link is in the Tinker and in the description. You know, it helps keeps the channel going, helps keep her going. So yeah, that's always appreciated. Like I said, when I talked to her, she was still editing the 11 o'clock video. That's the 12 o'clock video that's right up now. Tuesday talk with me and Ryan. Now, like I said, she won't be there Tuesday. That's good, Ron. That helps. It does help a lot, even if it's just an emoji. So she won't be here Tuesday. So it'll be me and Ryan. We're going to talk about the Lizard Man. And then I'll be here Wednesday night, midnight, God willing. And then Pixie's off this Thursday. Then I'm not sure if Gemma's going to be streaming Friday or Saturday. They do a festival, kind of carnival in her area, and it comes once a year, and they go every year. And it's good for them. So that I want them to go, you know, she's going to go do that. So I don't know if we're going to have it either Friday or Saturday or not at all. So she'll let you know on that as the week goes. She's going to try to get caught up on everything like she had the boy 4 days. It kind of slowed down her work process. So that's why she won't be with us Tuesday. But yes, me and Ryan will be here. And we'll try to make it as fun as possible without her. You folks have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the weekend. Have a good Sunday. Be safe on Memorial Day. We know all the crazy. But have a wonderful day. And all the men and women in the service do all the great things for us. I salute you. My father is a Marine. Unfortunately, they wouldn't take me because of my rocking and everything. So I would have loved to have been in the service. I had to kick some butt. Anyways, have a good one, folks. Have a blessed day tomorrow. And thank you so much for joining me and ghosting and everything. And I will see you all on the flip side, folks. Have a good one.